come in the arena, make the ground shake, make the ground scream. Me feeling no complete enemy. Bring the fire when I fly to the melody. Blood fire, you beginner. Keep on the game, me a winner. Your man them know me a leader. When I come in the arena.
Welcome everybody. Webinar Wednesday. That is the name of the game on this Zoom call here, guys. Thank you very much for tuning into this. So basically what this is, guys, for those of you that are new, every Wednesday, same time, 7 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, we're doing these Webinar Wednesdays, and I'm kind of just trying to provide a little bit of value in this 15, 20-minute Zoom call that we're going to do. I want to keep it short and sweet, but basically if there's anything that I can give to people to help, leapfrog them and help, jumpstart them to where they get to a point where they're actually trading and earning some money. Okay, that's what I want to do here with these Webinar Wednesdays. So this is specifically on the trading portion of it. I know we do a lot on, team building and recruiting and things like that, but I want to make sure that we have things out there for everyone that wants to learn how to trade, right? So what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm actually going to share my screen. I'm actually going to go over a little bit of the IM Center department. I did a video on it a little bit ago here. The audio wasn't the greatest, but I want to go through IM Center a little bit more in depth and actually focusing on where those trade notifications are, right? Because that's what we want to see, right? We're in it for the trades, right? So first off, there are a couple apps. Again, this is depending on which package you started with, right? Elite versus Platinum, right? So if you did get the Elite package, there are a couple apps that you can download. I'll get into that, but one of them is Swipecoin. Okay, make sure you download the Swipecoin apps. That is basically going to give you trade ideas on the cryptocurrency side of things. There's another one called Swipe Trades. Okay, that one's going to give you all kinds of trade forex pairs that they're gonna give you trade ideas on. So those are two main apps so you guys can go in. Gold Cup is another app. They are having a little bit of glitches with that one at the moment here right now. I think they're going to be doing an update with that. But Swipecoin, Swipe Trades are two of the apps that are actually going to send you trade notifications. While you're in the App Store, the Google Store, and you're downloading apps, make sure that you have IM Mastery's app downloaded as well. Okay. There's a lot of useful info in the IM Mastery Academy app, specifically when it comes to Pip Talks, okay? I'm going to kind of show that a little bit here, guys. Let's get right to it. I don't want to eat up too much of your time here today, guys. I am going to share my screen here. We're going to get to it. Give me 2 seconds. Let's get rid of this guy. All right, give me a thumbs up or 111 in the chat. Hopefully you guys can see my screen at the moment. I'm just going to log into IM Center here. You guys have probably already done that. It's just type in im.center. If you're new, guys, hit enter and it'll take you to your login page. So right here at the home page here, guys, I always kind of scroll down and see kind of what's happening. There's always news on the go. There's some kind of update that they're doing. So always be aware of that home page there. Also, guys, what I'd recommend doing is in the academies. I mean, obviously, I think this is kind of, going over this again for a lot of the other people, but come here to enroll in whatever academy you want to learn about, the FRX Academy, high frequency DCX, the IBO. Again, depending on what package you start with, some of them might be grayed out if you got the Platinum package. If it's color, that means you have access to it. So literally you just got to come here as an example, click on foreign exchange, click on enroll, and bang, you can just start going through the videos, okay? Another missed place that I feel a lot of people miss going to is actually the Academy Resources tab, guys. If you click on this, there is a whole bunch of stuff in there for all the newbies, okay? You click on getting started, look, it's gonna give you a bunch of things that you should look at when you're just starting out, okay? So watch some of these videos. There's a little game in there, a little tutorial, talks about strategies and things like that. So make sure you visit this Academy Resources. There's some handbooks here, things that you need to know about. If you do want to dive into the IBO, the Independent Business Owner, there's a handbook there. Lots of great stuff here, strategies. There's some presentations. So again, guys, make sure that you don't overlook this Academy Resources tab here, okay? There also is another one for the IBO resource building. There's a whole bunch of good stuff there, guys, okay? Before I get into the trades, I mentioned about Pip Talk, guys. So Pip Talk is literally kind of where you're gonna have access to a lot of these educators, okay? Now, when they put out like a notification out there or maybe an update on a trade, they're gonna do it through Pip Talks, okay? So you can come here, go to Pip Talks, and literally subscribe to, you know, whatever product that you want to follow. If you're following Gold Cup, you come here, click on view, there'll be a subscribe button here. You click subscribe, bang, now you're starting to get notifications. Look, this looks like a trade idea here right now. If I just click on it, bang, there's a trade idea. So Pip Talks is very powerful when it comes to trade ideas as well, guys. And especially if you have an educator that you are following, make sure you find them. You know, there's like literally tons of educators here, guys. So make sure that you come here, click on Pip Talks, make sure you subscribe to the product that you want to follow and also the educator, because they will give you some trade ideas there as well as updates on trades that you already have, okay? And again, when you do download the IM Mastery Academy app, the Pip Talks is going to be right in that app, so you get notifications right to your phone, okay? Make sure you guys are plugged in to that, okay? So I want to talk about strategies here though, guys. Like, where are these trade ideas? Okay, so let me scroll down here. So these, if this is your first time here, guys, these are all of the products associated with Forex. So Harmonics is one right here. I'll just quickly open it. So there's like 200 plus trades for the Harmonic Scanner a week. This thing is pumping out lots and lots of trades. There's also some really good educators that do teach on it. You can kind of see them outlined here, guys. So if you do want to learn about more of what this pivot scanner, or sorry, what the Harmonic Scanner does, hop on and follow one of these guys. Try and catch one of their go lives, okay? So I'll just quickly open up Harmonic Scanner, just kind of quickly break it down here. And it looks like I have an error. That's awesome. Let's try this again. Hopefully it doesn't give me an error this time. Bang, there we go. Perfect. So when it loads up, and a little bit of background about the Harmonic Scanner, guys, the Harmonic Scanner is actually scanning the market for patterns. That's what it does when it does decide to load up here. And it actually is going to give you trade ideas. Now, these trade ideas aren't put out by an actual person. It's all based on an algorithm, okay? Because the market tends to repeat itself, right? Because it's actually us responding to the market emotionally. That's what you'll learn about. So we tend to react the same way to certain events here. I don't know why this isn't loading here. Let's try loading it again one more time. There we go. Bang, it just came up. So if this is brand new, if this is the very first chart you've ever seen, this might not make any sense to you guys. You see some triangles, you see some red lines, some blue lines, all that good stuff. Don't worry about that. You will understand what that is. But what I want you guys to focus on is these numbers on the side here, guys. So they're actually giving you an entry point, okay? And they're also giving you TP1, TP2, TP3, which is just take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3, and it's also giving you your stop loss. So essentially what this is for this pair, this AUD-NZD, is they're giving you a trade idea, right? So you guys get the idea, right? If the market's up here to enter and you want to take profit below, let me draw a quick arrow here. We can tell very quickly that that is going to be a sell, right? So again, guys, it's just giving you guys trade ideas here. And you can actually sort it by time frame. So this is on the 15-minute time frame. You can go to the 1 hour, it gets a little bit less, 4 hour, the day, right? And you can also break it down by broker. If you click on here, there's a couple different brokers that they have here. Now, just because you don't have the broker listed in here doesn't really necessarily mean that you can't take the trade. But if you do have, you know, Hugo's Way as an example, or FX Choice, make sure that you select that, because that's going to be more current to your specific broker, okay? Then again, it's just going to give you trade ideas here. So this is on the 15-minute again. So there's a GBP AUD pair here. Here's a trade idea here. This one. So one thing to notice, guys, as well, is this trade idea, whenever this is populated, is actually at the end of the triangle here. That's a bad example here. Let me go to this guy. That one doesn't want to load. NZD. Okay, here we go. So when this is generated, guys, this is actually at the end of this pattern. So at this last letter of the D, the second triangle, that is, let me put an arrow here. This guy, just so you guys can see exactly, this guy right here, guys, is exactly when this NZD USD Gartney pattern was triggered, okay? Now, again, this is on the 15 minutes, so each one of these candles represents 15 minutes, the red and the blue, right? Red just means it's going down, blue means it's going up, but 15 minutes of time is each candle, right? So when this actually was triggered, look how much time has gone by, guys. Like, how much time is that? If I actually grab the ruler, I can tell you exactly how much time has gone by. So that's been 3 hours from now. Actually, no, there's another candle there. 3 hours and 30 minutes. So would we want to take part in this trade? Probably not. No, we already missed the boat, right? So when you are looking for trade ideas on the harmonic scanner, just make sure the party hasn't started without you. You know, the trade hasn't, gone past, X amount of time. So just be aware of that, guys, with the harmonic scanner. Again, I think I'm froze up here. Okay, now it's starting to load up here. Let me see if I can find a better one that's more current. Like this again, guys, here's the last letter here. Look at all this time that's gone by. Not a good time to enter, but harmonic scanner is really, really powerful. You can actually add some indicators to the harmonic scanner as well. I know some people, they use the Bollinger Bands that they add to this. Bollinger Bands, which is just an indicator that you can use. The Bollinger Bands essentially just, they act like elastics. So when it hits the outside, sorry guys, this is not working out here. It's loading very slowly. So when it hits the outside of this elastic, or the outside of the Bollinger Band, it tends to hit it and bounce off, right? Comes down, touches it, comes back up, hits it, kind of bounces off a little bit, rides it. So, I mean, all in all, guys, for an indicator perspective, or sorry, not indicator, a trading alert perspective, you could come here and there's literally trades all the time that you can practice with, especially if you have a demo account, guys. Like, in my opinion, the hurdle is actually utilizing that MetaTrader 4 app and just figuring out where those numbers go. Okay, so the harmonic scanner is a great place, in my opinion, for you to come here and enter these numbers into your demo account, guys. Okay, so that's our harmonic scanner. Let me go back here. Verbata is actually a big one as well. It's super, super powerful. My computer is running very slow. Bear with me, guys, while this kind of loads up here. I might have to refresh. Let me close this. If you guys have any questions, throw some comment or throw some questions in the chat box. I see some that are in there now. While this is trying to load here, maybe I'll hit up some questions here. I'm just going to relog in, guys. Jevin's asking on something like that, how would you set the stop loss at each TP once it passes? So are you talking about like a trailing stop, Jevin? Like, I'm assuming that's kind of what you're talking about. So essentially what you would do, like if you're taking multiple take profits, guys, on let me reload this harmonic scanner so I can give that idea or explain that a little bit better. So if you're taking multiple take profits here, guys, so if you have an entry here, stop loss and TP1, obviously when you're entering this trade in, you only have a spot for one take profit. So if you're going to go for take profit 2 and take profit 3, they're actually separate trades, okay? Your entry is still going to be the same. The stop loss is still going to be the same, but your take profit will be different on the second one. Your take profit will be different on the third. Now, even before you enter that trade, in terms of your lot size, guys, if you are planning on taking multiple, you have to, if you're going to take 2 take profits, you have to cut your lot size in half, right? If you're going to take your third TP, excuse me, make sure your lot size is in thirds, okay? Because if you just do your regular lot size for every take profit, you're literally tripling your risk. Okay, so just be aware of that. But in terms of the stop loss, when that comes up, what I personally do, Jevin, is once this enters in, let me get an arrow going here. Once this enters in and it does hit take profit 1, what I would do is just move both my take profit 2 and take profit 3, my stop loss, right to entry level. Right? Because essentially what that will do is if it does decide to go back the other way, instead of taking me out on a stop loss at a loss, it's going to take me out at the entry, and essentially I just broke even, right? So essentially at that point you're just securing your portfolio, really, to be honest with you. That's what I typically do. I know some people, once they're in like 30 pips, or even 10 pips of profit, they'll move their stop loss up. It depends on how big the trade is. Like this first take profit is 13, 14 pips. So, I mean, you could move it to, once you had 10 pips, move everything from your stop loss to entry. You can do that as well. It's all preference, really. But in my opinion, if you are going to play the multiple take profits, you definitely are going to want to make sure that you move this stop loss up to your entry, at least when this take profit clears. Okay, at minimum. That way it's a free ride at that point, right? If you move the stop losses to entry for the take profit 2 and take profit 3, you can kick back, right? It's either going to take you out at break even. You've already made money on this TP1. Either for the other two and 3, it's either going to break even or you're going to make more money. So at that point, you can kick back. It's risk-free, right? So I hope that answers your question there, Jevin. Carrie's asking how recent they are. I believe it refreshes, I think, every 15 minutes, I want to say. That's kind of when it looks for new trade ideas, right? But it's constantly refreshing itself. Like I said, there's over 200 plus trades a week. This thing's a monster, right? So just, again, when you do see the pair, look at where the triangle completed and see how much time has gone by, and then decide if it's still okay to get in, okay? Okay, that's harmonic scanner, guys. Let's go on here. Verbata, it's not wanting to do this here, so I'm gonna have to manually do this here. Verbata.im, I think that's the website. No. Oh, Vibrata, excuse me. There we go. See if that will load up. Awesome. Okay, we'll just log in here. All right, so the Verbata is actually, the other name of it is actually called Web Analyzer. That's what it was called. Verbata is actually a very big, a powerful product, to be honest with you, because if you come up to strategies here, guys, like look how many people use this tool. Like I just keep going. Like there's so many people that have a strategy associated to Verbata. Okay, and then when I say people, these are educators. Okay, so Dr. Kathy's got a preloaded ECC 11 strategy. So if I wanted to do some ECC 11 strategy trading with Dr. K, I literally just click on that, and it should just refresh itself to her template. Okay, now you'll see some other trade ideas here. If you do want to do some trading with Dr. K, I'd highly recommend that you actually watch her live as opposed to because there are trade ideas here, but there actually are some rules associated to ECC 11. Okay. If you come back here, there's the Sharif strategy, Lee Allen's money flow. There also is some crypto stuff in here as well. I know, yeah, Sharif has got some crypto stuff. If I scroll down here, there's some metals. This thing is huge, guys. Okay, so don't overlook this. But again, if you do want to use the Web Analyzer, the Verbata, make sure that you're paired up with an educator, because this thing, like I say, so many educators use this. Another thing I do want to mention is where it says vibes here, London Payout, Thor, Index Infusion, Simple Scalper, Money Flow, Original Power Trade. So these are all actually add-ons to the Verbata product. So typically they're, $8, $10 or something like that. So if I actually clicked on, I don't have it actually activated right now. It's going to say you need to add that add-on. But literally what these are, guys, is these are just trade ideas. They're literally educators that are just simply putting out trade ideas. So if you do follow like the London Payout, I know Dr. K does that. The Index Infusion, that is the Sharif strategy. Money Flow, that's Lee Allen. So if you do pair up with an actual educator, I would highly recommend paying like the $8 or the $10 it is for one of these add-ons, because they'll literally just give you trade ideas. And I mean, if you're thinking about, okay, I got to pay my membership plus the $10, like that $10 that you pay for this add-on will probably pay for itself the very first trade you make. Okay, so very, 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 very huge, guys. A lot of people, a lot of educators use this. There's some training things here as well. Dr. K does have some ECC 11 stuff here as well. So that's all I really want to talk about with the Verbata, but it is huge, guys, okay? Let me see if I can go to Gold Cup. That's going to make me manually enter everything in here. Let's see, Gold Cup. Log in again. I'm going to go way longer than my 15, 20 minutes here, guys. I hope that's okay. Again, guys, if you have any questions as I'm going through here, please throw them in the chat box. I would love to help out. So when you first log into Gold Cup, you're going to see some alerts here on the side. This MA crosses is kind of the strategy that it preloads. The MA cross, there actually is an educator that does that. He actually is, what is his name? Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name, but it's actually a specific strategy, almost like Dr. K's ECC 11. There's like, just because we have an MA cross here doesn't mean we can take the trade, right? There's some other things that are kind of going on behind the scene, other checklists that you have to check off before you actually make a trade. I'm trying to think of the guy's name here that did it. If I remember it, guys, I will put it in the recording here. I'll put like a big name here for to hop on. But where I personally go for trade ideas within Gold Cup is actually if you come up here to strategy and then click on master teacups. Okay, this is where I go. Actually, I personally take these trades here, guys. So again, just like the harmonic scanner, you're going to see some time frames over here on the side. So the 15-minute, you can kind of cycle through, see if there's any trade ideas. 30-minute, 1 hour. Okay, so there's a couple trade ideas on the 1 hour. Again, guys, you kind of want to scroll out and kind of see the bigger picture. And usually they have some notes here, right? So they have a date and they give you all the numbers here, right? So the first thing I look at is the date. Okay, how close is it? Is it like 3 days old, or where is it, right? This one looks like it's still pretty current, actually, because essentially what the teacup does, it's giving you an entry point, which is this black line. It's giving you a stop loss here. You can actually mark it up as well. If you just click anywhere, hit Alt-H, it literally puts a line there, and you can click on the line, come up to the settings cog, and literally just put in the coordinates, right? So if you have numbers here and you want to kind of visualize it, come up here to coordinates and literally just punch it in. So I'm going to do the, we'll do the take profit here, 87059. And you can even add some other things. Where did my mouse go? Okay, my mouse just died. I mean, that's awesome. I like to change the color of the line, take profit to blue. That's just me. Hit OK, bang. Okay, there we go. That's our take profit there. You could come here, hit Alt-H again, or what you can do, guys, I'll just delete this. You can actually just come over here, and there's a whole bunch of lines here. So horizontal line, bang, click wherever you want it. Come up to the settings cog, coordinates, punch it in. So stop loss 86559. And for stop loss, I use red. Bang, there you go. Now you got a little bit of a visual of what this trade is, okay? So our entry is this 86859, which is the black line, right? So this trade is essentially saying, okay, we're gonna come down from our entry, or from the market, that's where that green dotted line is right now. It's gonna come down, kiss this entry point, and then come back up. If it does that, we're in the money, right? Obviously, again, stop loss is just to prevent you if it does go the wrong way, if it keeps going down, obviously it's going to take us out. So this, again, guys, what I'm trying to show you guys is just where you can access trade ideas per product, okay? What else do I see here? Yes, this will be available later, man. I'm going to record it and make sure it's out there to share for everybody. So again, and there's different types of teacups. Again, this is the strategies master teacups. So there's different types of teacups. This is called the inverted teacup. It's a buy limit. So it's literally giving you the market type, because the market's up here. It's got to come down before it comes up. That's a buy limit. Okay. Here's another guy, NZD USD. So this one, you can kind of see, okay, first off the date. So that was the 14th. So that's a little bit old. This is on a 1 hour time frame. So each one of these candles represents 1 hour. So when this teacup was initiated, there's been quite a lot of time that has gone by, right? Let's see, just roughly a day and 10 hours. So would you want to get into this? No, you probably wouldn't, right? This one is probably just on the verge of just, you know, expiring itself. Looks like it came very close to coming to that entry point before triggering the sell limit. And if we would have got in that, like that, I don't even know how close that is. That's super close. But if we did get in it, look at that ride, guys, all the way down. I'm just going to see where, out of curiosity, how many pips that is. Let's just see. Let's just see here. I can't even go to the very bottom here. Let's see this ride. Approximately 153 pips in like a day. Obviously, your take profit would have been way up here at this number, but again, guys, Gold Cup is a great product in it. They're all great products. Again, like that's where you got to figure out what works for you, what makes sense, what strategy makes sense to you, what educator that you kind of, you know, gel with, that you like, you know, how they're giving the information, because there's a lot of great people that know a lot about foreign exchange, but when it comes to the education side of things, you might not be on the same wavelength, you know what I mean? So again, I'm just trying to show you guys some you know, some pointers on where to go for some of these trade alerts, guys. Okay. H4, yeah, again, here's a CAD JPY trade. Again, they're giving you all the numbers here, guys, okay? They're giving you some of the risk as well. What else is up here? Gold Rush, they have another one, Gold Rush here. I believe this is just strictly gold, okay? So yeah, XAU USD. Again, they got some, you know, different time frames here, but the main thing, guys, is again, get yourself plugged in with an educator for sure. If it's something that doesn't give you a take profit, a stop loss, you know, entry, right? Because it is a strategy, but it's not really giving you the numbers here, okay? So make sure that you're plugged in with an educator. There are also some other add-ons here as well. You can see that they're locked here. So I believe it's Kimberly Torres has this US 30 add-on, and I think she's #1 on the Go Live right now, if I'm not mistaken. I think she's beat out Bob Proctor, to be honest with you. So if you want to learn about trading US 30, she is really good at it. Also, Dr. K is really good at trading US 30. Price Trap is another add-on. I believe that one is with, is it Kevin Serrano? No, Kevin Serrano. Again, I'm going to put their names on the recording here for you guys. But again, these add-ons, they're literally just trade ideas. And they're worth their weight when it comes to the $10 or whatever it is for the add-on. So that's Gold Cup, guys. Levels, to be honest with you, I don't have a whole whack of experience with levels. Let's see if I can log in. There we go. I actually haven't even logged into levels in like a super long time. But if I go back here, it's not even going to load it. But yeah, when it does load properly, when you click on levels, guys, it kind of loads up here. It gives you, like, you know, the style of trading. It gives you how many trades, and also gives you some educators to follow as well. So if you do want to learn more about levels or Gold Cup or whatever, look for those educators that actually teach on it. Okay, so levels. Again, guys, I'm not too familiar with this, but there are, you know, alerts and things like that. Strategies are up here. Mondays, master trades. Again, make sure that you get yourself paired up with the level. Sorry, my knowledge on the levels product isn't very good, to be honest with you, but definitely make sure that you're plugged in with an educator on that. I don't think there's really, you know, alerts when it comes to, okay, here's your entry, here's your stop loss, here's your take profit. I don't think that they have that with this. There may be an add-on that I'm not familiar with in terms of the levels, but again, guys, I want to point out where you can go for actual alerts. The Pivots product doesn't have any actual alerts. They do have a second strategy here, a strategy number 2. So when you log on here, this is your first time, you're going to see a lot of color, a lot of lines. Again, it might not mean anything to you. I would highly recommend watching Baz Kujman. Actually, he's one of the educators that teaches on pivots. Also, Lee Allen, excuse me, is also a great on pivots. Essentially, the rundown, guys, is these lines going across here are essentially support and resistant levels, okay? So you see S3, okay, here's a support level, here's a S2, another support level, S1, another support level, S0, another support level, and then P4, pivots, is kind of the pivotal point, like the middle ground. As you go up, okay, now we got R5, R6, R7, R8, these are all resistance, okay? Now, one thing to really kind of know, guys, is, okay, so we talked about P4, that's the middle, the same color R8, that's kind of the top of the resistant levels. And then you have S0, that's kind of the bottom of the support levels, okay? So typically, educators, if I can make a quick box here, I think it's in this guy. Let's make a box. So essentially in this top part here, guys, between P4 and R8, essentially between here, that's when educators are looking for buys, okay? If I make another box here, below P4 to S0, that's where educators are looking for sells. Okay, that's kind of a very, very quick rundown of it. Now, if it gets into the overbought area, like above R8 to this +1, +2, again, I'm gonna make another box here, guys. If it gets up to this level, guys, and I'm just gonna black it out because you shouldn't be doing any trades above R8, that's considered an overbought zone. And the market, like if it is coming up, let me make some arrows here. If we did get in a buy here, guys, and it's coming up and coming up, once it goes past R8, once it gets into this black zone, guys, it tends to want to turn around and go the other way. Again, this is a pivots product. It's talking about when the market is going to pivot, okay? So anytime in the black zone, you don't want to be making any trades, okay? That's the same for when it's below S0 here, guys. When it's in this black zone, when it's below S0, again, you don't want to be making any trades in that because, again, if you're in this sell section, right, and it starts coming down, as soon as you cross into the black zone here, the market, according to the pivot scanner, has a tendency to turn around and start coming the other way, right? That's very quickly what the pivots product does. Let me get rid of some of this stuff here, guys. Let me just clear all this. One other thing I want to show you once this loads up here is the colors S2. Let me see if I can draw another little line here. S2, guys. That's kind of a horrible box, but anyways, S2 and R8, or sorry, R6, guys. Those are really, really strong support and resistant lines. Probably one of the strongest lines, okay? So you'll see educators that if like, what's a good example? So obviously this is below S2 right now. So we technically can sell this. I mean, you know, there's more to it than that, but we can technically sell this to that S0 point. That's what it's telling us, right? Again, once we go below S0, then we're in that black zone. We don't want to be taking any more trades. But if we were up here, let me grab this arrow. If we were up here, guys, and we're at the P4 level, a lot of educators will only sell just to this S2 level, because it's such a strong support level that it tends to test it. Like it tends to hit it and bounce off of it. It may come back down again, test it, and then bounce off. It takes a lot of kind of momentum, a lot of volume for it to break through that S2 level. Now that doesn't mean that it can't do that. It just means that, you know, instead of going from P4 all the way to S0, to be safe, just go from P4 to S2, right? Take the money, run. Once you've hit your take profit, then you can reevaluate. If it did break S2 like back here, now here's a great example, guys. So it came down, touched S2, bounced off, came back up, came back down, retested it, and actually broke through on that. But I've seen it like bounce off of it a couple times, okay? So S2 is a very, very strong support line. Our R6 is the same thing, guys. Same. As it's coming up here, guys, it's gonna test that, bounce off of it, maybe test it again, or maybe it might even just break through. So very quickly, guys, that is the pivot scanner. There's more to it than what I'm just giving you right now. Again, it doesn't really give you, you know, take profits, you know, stop losses and things like that. There is a strategy too. If you come up here, and sorry, before I click on this, guys, you can again go through the time frame. You can choose from foreign exchange pairs to, you know, commodities, you know, gold, there's indices, or so this is oil, there's cryptocurrencies in here, there's also indices. So I actually use the pivot scanner for everything. Like if I see a trade in Gold Cup, I'll come over to the pivot scanner and I'll just do the comparison, right? If you get a trade idea, guys, and you can confirm it on multiple products, it's just an extra confirmation that you can enter that trade. Okay. Again, I know that to some people, when they first look at the pivot scanner, they're like, oh my gosh, what is this even telling me? But once you get good at it, guys, once you train your eyes to see what you're looking at, this is such a valuable tool, guys. Okay. There is a strategy 2 component to it where it does kind of give you some numbers here, guys. Let me go back to FRX pairs. Again, it might just add to the craziness here, but it is giving you some of these, you know, partial trade ideas. Excuse me, let me move this over. So it's giving you kind of an entry price around this point as a sell to S0. Okay, so entry price is here, sell down to here, right? Stop loss should be here if it's a buy stop. Again, guys, it might be a little bit more confusing, but definitely pivots is a great tool. Let's move on. Steady, it's not going to load up here again. Let me just open it up here. And if you're having that same problem, guys, if you can't like click on it and open it up, just literally just type in what the product is in the bar. So steady-IM, hit enter, it'll load up. you'll get your login screen. Okay, guys. What else do we got here? Just checking the chat box here. Debbie's hoping that bad boy comes down. That's awesome. Okay, so Steady, I can't give you the product description here, guys, but Steady is probably about a 1 to 3 trade a week style of trading. Steady, it's very much set and forget. And usually you're going to see a lot of the trades on the higher time frames, the 1 hour, 4 hour, or even the day. Okay, so when you get logged in here, you're going to see the alerts on the side here. So again, the first thing I look at is how much time has gone by. So it actually gives you how much time has gone by on each trade alert. So this has been an hour and 1 minute, 12 hours on this guy, AUDJPY, another 12 hours, right? So you guys get the idea. Come click on it. It'll load up the chart, guys, and it's just going to give you the whole trade breakdown. Okay, so they're giving you an entry zone between this one and this line and this line, and it should give you the numbers, right? If not, you can just kind of hover over it. You can see it 1.98707 between there and roughly 1.98896. So that should be your entry point, right? It's giving you the stop loss, which is the red line, red number, TP1, TP2, and then it's kind of giving you a swing. So essentially what this swing means, guys, is if we do get into the trade, right? We get into this area, bang, we hit take profit 1, we hit take profit 2, we hit take profit 2. Then if it comes down to this swing point, that's what they've indicated that actually it's just like very much like pivots, how I said it was overbought when it was in that black section. This swing point means that that's when they believe it's gonna touch that and come back down. And you can kind of see it's already done that once back over here. If you ever want to kind of try and get in the heads of what your educator is thinking, always look left to trade right, right? So look left and see what the market was doing, right? Look, it touched here again, bang, before it started coming back up. Touched here again, bang, started coming back up. So that's how they're identifying this swing point. Same with the entry as well, right? They're probably basing this entry off of some previous support and resistance lines. If you look at it, it came down here, bang, came up, came down, bang, came up, came down, bang, came up, bang, came up. And if you look at it, that's right in line. If I draw a line here, guys, right from this area here, you can see how many points that actually touched before it changed directions, right? So they're actually using previous support, previous resistant lines as their entry point, okay? So again, guys, they're literally giving you trade ideas here, AUDJPY. Here's another one. Again, very, very straightforward, right? It's giving you the pair, the entry zone. They even give you an entry line here. Very, very simple, straightforward. So again, these are a little bit longer trades, again, because they're on the 1 hour, 4 hour. They might take 3 or 4 days, sometimes a week to hit. But when they do hit, they're usually a lot larger in terms of profits, right? So if we just went, TP1, like we're looking at 80 pips, we would have caught on that one. TP2 is 140 pips, right? So you might be waiting a little bit more time, but it will obviously still convert to dollars at the end of the day when it's all said and done. So that's Steady, guys. Let's go DeLorean here. Oh, again, I'm going to have to type this in here, DeLorean. DeLorean.im. Sorry, guys, this is taking way longer than I wanted. Usually these things are only 15, 20 minutes. But I mean, how can you sum up what we have in the back office in 15, 20 minutes? So DeLorean, guys, there's some really great educators that teach DeLorean. They're typically in the morning, usually before 10 a.m. Eastern time. That's when you're going to use the DeLorean strategy here that you see. Patrick Kenny is a great educator. Tyrone Foster, Abel. Can't remember Abel's last name, but yeah, there's some great educators here, guys, on this. So you will see alerts on the side here, guys. But again, it's not really giving you take profits or anything like that. This is a strategy that you should probably do live with the educators. They do actually have some really good training material up here. They have some graphics. If I just open this up here, guys, they're just literally giving you a checklist on what you need to do to actually take a trade. Okay, I'm not going to go into everything like that, but that's where you can go. Same thing if you're doing it on the 4 hour or day time frame. They're literally giving you those graphics. Where I personally go for trade ideas, though, if you click on strategies here and go shadow, it's going to open up another screen here, guys. And with shadow, it looks very similar to Steady, very similar. So again, on the right-hand side, they're giving you trade alerts, right? And they've got it kind of marked up here. So this is oil, this first trade oil. They're literally giving you, this is on the day time frame. So this is a little bit of a slower trade. It would obviously take a little bit more time, but they're giving you market execution, buy at this level. Here's your stop loss. Here's your TP1, TP2, bang, you enter into your MetaTrader 4, bada bing, bada boom, right? So they got more. They got a exotic pair here, USD MXN. I can't remember what MXN is. USD CAD. Great place though. I've literally taken a lot of trades from the DeLorean Shadow product. But yeah, guys, that's all I really need to say about that. But again, get paired up with an educator. What else do we have left? Bounce back. Let me see if I could get into bounce back. Log in here. Okay, so bounce back. Again, you're going to see this a lot of similarities to the DeLorean, right? It's giving you like a trade alert, but it's not giving you any trade numbers, right? So again, you want to get yourself paired up with somebody that's going to be teaching on, on the bounce back strategy. But what you can do, what I do is actually come up to strategies, and instead of bounce back, I click on sniper strategy. Okay. Now, sniper strategy, they do give you the odd trade alert here as well. We can see there's a trade idea for USD CAD. Looks like there was an entry level back here. And if you would have got in, this one would have been pretty profitable, it looks like. Looks like you would have been 210 pips on this trade on this 1 hour time frame. That thing took off. Look at that. Wow, that's awesome. So that's USD CAD, NZD USD. Sometimes you will see a little bit of a markup of what they're looking for. They won't actually give you ideas like how they actually have the trade idea here, but they're going to give you their trade markup on what they're looking for to happen. Right. So here they're saying, okay, market shouldn't go higher than this. If it does get to this area, then they're going to start looking for a short or a sell opportunity. Right. And if that does happen, this is kind of the take profit position that they're aiming for. Okay. So they might not give you an actual trade alert, but they're going to give you a markup of what they're looking for. In this case, it's for NZD USD. Okay. So again, great spot. You can come here, trade ideas. That's all I do with bounce back for myself. And that's just Forex, guys. There's still high frequency. I'll switch gears to high frequency. Actually, you know what? It's not even going to allow me to open it, which sucks because there's a lot of good tools in there as well. DCX. That sucks. I wonder if I open a new tab, see if it'll load up. See what happens here. Negative. Okay, well that sucks. Maybe I'll make another video on high frequency, the DCX aspect as well, because they're very cool, very cool tools in there as well. I want to take a second here just to see if anybody has any questions, anything they want to chat about. You know, again, guys, this is why we get together on Zoom. So if you guys have any questions or anything you want me to maybe go over, or if I can help explain, like, by all means, unmute yourself, throw something in the chat box. Would love to help out if I can, guys. Torrent saying thanks for the help. Yeah, you're very welcome. Carla, awesome. Yeah, you're very welcome. Torrent's asking, what app feels best for your skill level or understanding? So at a beginner level, I mean, the swipe trades is very good. I mean, it's the convenience of having trade ideas being sent to your phone is none other, right? If you're like doing whatever, not driving, excuse me. If you're shopping or, movie or whatever, you can get a trade notification on your phone and be like, okay, bang, I can simply just take that trade, right? So on a beginner level, again, I mentioned, the big hurdle is just knowing where those numbers go in your MetaTrader 4, right? So when I get new people plugged in, I tell them to take as many trades as they can in the demo account. Just figure out how to use that app. Once you know how to use that, you'll be able to take any trade with any product and any educator. That does not matter. Swipe Coin is a very, very good app on the crypto side of things. There's not as many educators that are tied to the cryptocurrency. So when you do get a trade notification, if you're following a specific educator, you probably know exactly their style of trading or their strategy behind it. The only thing that I guess, just as information, when you do become kind of a little bit more, you start developing your trade, experience, you're going to know that you don't want to just blindly enter a trade in, right? You kind of want to do your own form of analysis, especially when you're talking with real money guys, right? I mean, anybody can copy and paste and just throw numbers in, right, and take trades, but I would highly encourage you guys, and if you're doing that's fine, but I would highly encourage you to start doing your own analysis, right? Figure out what they're aiming for. Here, I'm gonna stop sharing for a second, guys. Figure out what it is that they're aiming for, right? What try and get behind the same thought process that the trade is coming out. So Swipe Trades does give you a lot of trade ideas. I personally don't take a lot of them just because I don't know the educator that's putting them out and I don't know the strategy behind it, right? Now, I can take a trade idea and throw it on a chart and you can kind of get a feel for it. And again, I would encourage you to do that. Get that visual kind of analysis broken down, like throw numbers on a chart, throw some lines on there, kind of get that visual so you get an idea of what they're trying to do as opposed to just taking numbers and throwing them into your app, okay? So, I mean, there's lots of apps, Torin, like it all depends on what you want to do, man. They're all great. I know DeLorean's going to be coming out with a new app. I know that's going to be the next one. But yeah, stay tuned to that. What else we got here? Charles is saying thank you. Yeah. Anybody have anything else question-wise? Anything they want to chat? Anything in general? Open book, guys. Ask me anything. All right. Well, if that's good, my 15, 20-minute Zoom turned into about 50 minutes today. But I hope that helps, guys. I'll probably get the recording out there for you guys to share with some team members if they weren't on this. Again, guys, if you ever have any questions, reach out. Shoot me a Facebook, Instagram message. I'll throw my Instagram in the chat box, guys. James Perot. That is my IG handle. Throw that in there, guys. Awesome, guys. Again, thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks, Robbie. You're welcome. Debbie, you're welcome. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. So again, every Wednesday, guys, doing this 7 o'clock Mountain Time. Tell your friends. Be there, be square. Okay. Take care, guys. Take care. Bye for now.